After the beautiful voices that you heard, please put up with my croaking voice. Respected Secretary Mataji, my dear sister nuns, brahmacharis, and all the girls come from all over India. The subject today is My India Arise. What is India? Is it the land enclosed between the Himalayas, Bengal, Bay of Bengal, Indian Ocean, and the Arabian Sea? Is it the land that we mean by the term India? No, India is we, you and I, and all the human beings and creatures residing over this beautiful land of ours, this Ajayaprana, the most ancient civilization that history has ever seen. That is India. So does it mean that when Vivekananda asks us to arise, does it mean that we all should rise up, walk on high-heeled shoes, raise ourselves? Not the physical rise, intellectual, emotional, and rise up to the highest spiritual level. India has been and is and will be forever the spiritual mother for the whole country, that is the earth. In the eyes of India, the world is one. Remember, whatever we do will have a terrible, forcible impact on the rest of India, on history. It has been so from time immemorial down to the present day. We have to be very careful. We can be proud. We are the teachers. We are the real leaders of the world. When India fell down financially, began to sleep spiritually, the world suffered. The world came down. India's greatest treasure is her spirituality, as Swami Vivekananda has again and again and again asserted, drove into our minds. We are unique. Be proud that you are an Indian. Be proud that we were born in this beautiful land where even gods are hungry to be born. We are special specimens in the creature world. We have got special blessings from God because we were allowed to be born on this beautiful land. Holy land. The land which has produced the largest number of spiritual giants in the history of mankind. Be proud of that and live according to that. Fortunately, each one of us has to look after only one person in this whole world, and that is oneself. Make sure that you, the one person, lives in such a way that you raise the dignity of this nation. Swami Vivekananda in 1892 visited the south. He was in Trivandrum. and was the guest of Professor Subramania Iyer. Mr. Iyer had a young son studying at today's HSC, that is the intermediate class of those days. Swamiji always made it sure to make friends with young people. You have to remember, he was young throughout, till his death. He did not remain on this earth till he became old. So he belongs to the youth, to you and me. I am 90 years old. I am one with you. He belongs to us, not the old people. He is the ever young personality, which he wants us to be. Let the body grow old, doesn't matter. We remain young. So he made friends with this young boy and began to talk to him on many things, teach him. One day, I'll quote a little from the sons, Ramaswamy Iyer's, Ramaswamy Shastri's version. Swamiji told me, "You are still a young boy. I hope and wish that someday you will reverentially study underlined the Upanishads, the Brahma Sutras, the Bhagavad Gita, which are known as the Prasthana Traya, the three supreme sources of truths, as also the Itihasas, Puranas and the Agamas, a long, big list." The boy must have got frightened. Swamiji was wishing that he through the long period of his lifetime, would read and study these great books. Remember, that's a suggestion for all of us, not only him. Swamiji used him as a representative of all of us, the future generation of young people of India. Never think that you belong to Arunachal Pradesh. Never think that you belong to Calcutta. Never think that you belong to Tamil Nadu. You belong primarily and essentially India. To India, you are an Indian first. Then you belong to a certain province or state. Why did he ask us to study all these books? You will find the like of these, you will not find the like of these anywhere else in the world. The most unique books for human development in the whole literature of the world, throughout history. Man alone, out of all living beings, has a hunger in his heart to know the whence and whither, the whys and wherefore of things. The animals don't wonder why they came into the world. We wonder. Why am I here? Why was I born? 3 primary questions are there. 1. Why was I born? What is this universe? And who created this universe? And some people ask a 4th question, what is the relation between me and the universe, and between me and the creator of this universe? The animals are not concerned about why they were born. They are concerned only with their organic survival. But we are, because we have been endowed with something here, buddhi, intellect, to think. about the why and how of everything. And that is what is discussed about in these great books. Now these Puranas are very important. The Upanishads feed us with spiritual and intellectual ideas. The Itihasas, the Puranas, the epics are symbolic. When I was small, child of 6 or 7, I used to wonder how Ravana used to sleep. You all know, Ravana has got 10 heads and 20 arms. It's a big problem for me to have a bath, poor man. What a trouble. But it is symbolic. He had the physical strength of 10 men and the wisdom and intellect of 10 men. 20 arms. That's a symbol. Another problem for me was Durga has got 10 arms. What about stitching a blouse for her? It worried me a lot. To put which arm through which sleeve, how do you know? 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. 10 here and 10 here. It would take a long, long time to find the correct sleeve. And to stitch one, how to stitch one, I used to visualize how the sleeves would be hanging around this sleeve around. She had the power of 10 Devis. Not that how ugly she would be if she had 10 arms like that. Just think of that. And she was very beautiful. The 10 arms hanging like that, how can a person be beautiful? Symbolic. The whole epic, all of them, Bhagavatam, Ramayanam, Mahabharatam, all of them are symbolic of the characteristics and lifestyle of each one of us. When we study them, not read, when we study them, we learn. We have to go deep into the meaning of each symbol, think and think and think. One of my favorite example is this thing. Most of you may have heard Bernard Shaw, haven't you? Raise your hands who have heard the name of Bernard Shaw. Few people. He was a great philosopher and writer and thinker, but very humorous man. He said, very few people think in the world of today. I think 3 times a week, and that's why I am internationally famous. Just to drive into our brain the importance of thinking. He used to think 3 times a week, and he became internationally famous. So if we think every day, just think of that. Read these and think about them. Reading is for fun, spending time, just emotional enjoyment. But thinking develops the brain. We become wholesome. That's why Swamiji asked us to read the Itihasas and the Puranas. It will make us better and better. As he always used to say, you are good, be better. Now you are all good. Don't stay there. Be saying satisfactorily, I am a very good girl. No, that's not enough. You can be better than you must be better than you will be better. You are good, be better. How do we become better? Emotionally controlled, intellectually expanded. Like that we have to become better. So read them. And then, Swamiji did not end there. There comes the most beautiful practical thing. There are 4 key words, 4 important words. He spoke in Sanskrit. Abhayam, Ahimsa, Asangam, Anandam. Practice them. Abhayam, Ahimsa, Asangam, Anandam. Beautiful words. The most practical that we need and can implement in our life. Abhayam. First she said Abhayam, fearlessness. How can fearlessness come? When we have got self-confidence. When we have self-confidence, when we are positive, say that I can. Does any of you remember my mantra? Yes. Say that. I can, I will, I must. I can, I must, I will. Oh, some of you remember that. Thank you. I can, I must, I will. I can. If somebody else can, I can. Remember, Einstein had dyslexia. Dyslexia means the brain sometimes says something, but the hands and feet won't do, especially hands. Those students who have dyslexia make other people write. They can think, but they can't write accordingly. Einstein had that. Today, Stephen Hawking, the greatest living scientist, cannot do anything at all except just move the tip of his finger to push the button, to give any message. That he is the greatest living scientist. If they can do that, why can't I do this thing? Just pass an exam, face an interview, travel. Ask that question to yourself. Regain self-confidence which we had in our childhood. When we were little children, we had immense amount of self-confidence. Revive that. Wake that up. When that self-confidence comes, fearlessness comes along with that. Abhayam. Many of you may have read the incident in Swamiji's life. In the West, one day he was walking along some part of the land, along with some other devotees. Suddenly, an angry bull came shaking its head, rushing towards them. All of them began to run. There were some ladies. One lady tipped over a stone and fell down. The attention of the bull was turned towards her, and he was rushing towards her. And Swamiji looked around. All the men had gone away. He stepped forward and stood like this, between the fallen woman and the rushing bull. Such rock-like determination and fearlessness were written all over his face. He stood there looking into the eyes of the bull. At 10 paces ahead, the bull stopped, stared at him for some time, And what went through that animal head we don't know. Slowly turned round and went away. Later, once in India, he was sitting on the seashore along with some of the devotees and others. Then one of them, remembering this incident, asked Swamiji, when you were standing there like that, between the woman fallen behind you and the rushing angry bull in front of you, what were you thinking? Swamiji said, I was calculating the distance, the time that the bull would take to reach me. A mathematical calculation. Can you imagine? He was doing a mathematical calculation. To do mathematics, you have to be extremely quiet. If the mind is frustrated, many other things we can do at the same time. Not mathematical calculation. Should be placid, quiet, calm, immensely pointed, concentrated. So he forgot the anger of the bull, he forgot everything else in the world, just stood there quietly with one pointed attention, doing this calculation. This is called fearlessness. He did not preach that out of some literature, but from his own heart, which was himself. He was fearlessness personified. He had tremendous belief in the fearlessness and strength of women. He once said, if I get 50 men, dedicated men, India can be conquered. India can be conquered in 100 years. Spiritually conquered. With 50 dedicated men, India can be conquered spiritually in 100 years. With 50 dedicated women, it can be done in a few weeks. What amount of faith he had in the capacity of women, just think of that. And should we be cowards, disregarding his faith in us? Isn't it our duty to rise up, or try to rise up, and thereby raising India according to his expectations and call? When you go back home, think about it. Say to yourself, promise to yourself that you will try your best to raise yourself to Swamiji's expectations. Will you do that? I am asking you girls. Yes. Will you do that? Yes. I am asking you, try to do that. Try. And ask for help from Swamiji. Please help me to remember. Every day you can try to pray. Please Swamiji, help me to remember that I should raise myself a little higher than today from what I was yesterday. You will find a very, very visible change in you within 1 year. And you will be a blessing to India. Thereby, you will have raised India far, far higher. The second one is ahimsa. Ahimsa is translated as non-injury. Actually, it is absence of jealousy, according to Shankaracharya. Absence of jealousy. Shankaracharya says, jealousy comes unnoticed. Most of the other emotions of ours, we are aware of. But when jealousy comes, we are not aware of that, but it will eat into our heart, blacken our heart. In ahimsa, there will be no jealousy. We accept everything. Great people, people smaller than us, Bandhava Shivabhaktascha, all the devotees of God, or all people are our relatives, our old friends, our own. We are never jealous of people whom we love. Love the whole world because it is yours. It belongs to you. If you don't love the world, there will be nobody to love the world and nobody to love you. In olden times and today, science also says that the mind you will get from the world only that which the mind has put into it. The mind will get from the world only that which the mind has put into it. Did you understand? What we give, we get back. If we give love, we will get love back. If we give hatred, we will get hatred back. If we give jealousy, we will get jealousy back. Always remember, we promoted that. We contributed that. So if you find that somebody doesn't love you, it is because you didn't love that person. If our heart is full of love, we will see only love everywhere. The little baby does not know anything other than love. Slowly it recognizes the mother's face. Why? How? The brain hasn't started working yet. But when it is hungry or uncomfortable, one certain face comes always and helps it. So that association of comfort with that face makes the baby love that face more. That's all. Not thinking that it's my mother. Be like that towards the whole world. Indiscriminately. Love the whole world. The whole world will love you. Jesus on the cross was suffering in agony. The people down below, who were his followers, following him till the last day, now are howling for his blood. But Jesus prayed to the Father in heaven. Nobody could hate him. The whole world loves him. Napoleon, one of the greatest figures in history, was exiled, thrown away from his kingdom, and was made a prisoner in a faraway island, Elba. When he was in Elba, he announced, we four of us, myself, Peter the Great, Emperor Constantine, and Alexander the Great, established huge empires. Nobody remembers us today. Jesus also established an empire. The whole world remembers him. Why? Because we did it with the help of the sword. Jesus did it through love. We killed people and people want to kill us. Jesus loved people and people don't want to love him. That's called ahimsa, royal dignity. Another translation or explanation for ahimsa is royal dignity. It's below my dignity to hate him. It is below my dignity to hurt him. cultivates ahimsa. I think my time is gone. A little more. I have reached only 2 of my 4 points. Sorry. Samay hoye gache. Asangam. Asangam actually means non-attachment. It is in spiritual life, or in our case, it is detached attachment, not sticky. We can attach ourselves to anything at any time, detach ourselves. That's called asangam, detached attachment. When you do something, do that thinking that this is the best and the greatest and the most beloved to me. Anytime you are asked to come away, without a second word, come away. But when you are in it, it looks as if you cannot live without it. Do it with such a consecrated, concentrated way. But any time you are forced to or asked to come away, keep it there, neat and clean, come away. Detached attachment. It will save us from a lot of heartache. It's easy to practice if we try. And last is Anandam. Everybody likes that. Anandam is very good. We all want to be happy. But remember, real Anandam, joy, will come only with contentment. A great thinker has said that contentment and happiness are the same. When you are contented, you are happy. When you are discontented, you are unhappy. Try to be happy. Try to be contented with whatever you get and with whatever you have. During the independent revolution in India, one political leader said to his companions, the British government was trying to be a little lenient towards Indians. They offered a seat in the parliament, no voice. In Viceroy's parliament, they offered 1 seat. With 1 seat sitting there, not able to say anything, not having any power, it's below the dignity of the Indians. So most of the leaders wanted to refuse that. Then Lala Lajpat Rai, one of the leaders, said, pocket what you are getting and extend the hand for more. That's the sentence. Pocket what you are already getting and extend the hand for more. That's called contentment with what we have already get. But don't sit there quietly. Try for more. At least for a second, try to be happy and contented with what we have got. Unnecessarily hankering for more and more things. What Sri Ramakrishna termed as Kama Kanchana, Kamini Kanchana, lust and gold. Lust does not mean sexual desire. Lust means uncontrollable desire for anything. Give up that. Don't have uncontrollable desire, this unsatisfiable desire. Try to be happy with what you have and try for more. There's no harm in trying for more. But enjoy what you have already got for some time. Life is an adventure. Go on trying for more and more. Not with sorrow, not with anger, not with jealousy. Calmly and quietly. If you don't get, all right. I have got the satisfaction that I have tried. There's a joy in trying. So contentment and happiness go together. These four, please my dear young sisters, Swamiji has asked us to practice them. Can you remember? What are they? Say in English. What are they? First one? Fearlessness. Second one? Royal dignity or non-injury. Third one? Non-attachment. Fourth one? Joy. Abhayam, Ahimsa, Asangam, Ananda. Abhayam, Ahimsa, Asangam, Ananda. Abhayam, Ahimsa, Asangam.